Today we're going to read Who Tamed the Cat. I want you to listen how I read and how sometimes I emphasize certain words to give the story a little bit more meaning or to highlight important parts. Also, when you're reading, it's more fun when you sometimes maybe give it an accent or you give it a lot of enthusiasm. When you're reading, don't just read very slow and very monotone. It doesn't make it very much fun to listen to. Who tamed the cat? You might have heard that ancient Egyptians first named the cat about 4,000 years ago, but new evidence suggests that the history of the domesticated cat dates back to an earlier time, maybe as far back as 12,000 years. Historians began to think past ancient Egypt when archaeologists digging on the Mediterranean island of Cyprus uncovered many cat bones. They were able to determine that these bones were 9,000 years old. Yet, even after gathering all available data, scientists couldn't tell whether these cats were wild or tame. Then researchers stumbled upon the remains of one particular cat. It wasn't the bones themselves that made scientists so excited about this find and ready to turn their keen minds to discovering the facts. It was the way they had been buried. The cat's grave lay just a few feet from a 9,500-year-old human grave. After some more detecting, new details came to light. Scientists believe this cat died at about 8 months old, before it could mature to full adulthood. Both cat and human had been prepared for burial in the same manner, and both lay in the same position with heads pointing to the west. Researchers believe that these factors suggest that the cat was buried near its owner so that it could accompany him to the afterlife. This discovery offered solid proof that ancient Egyptians were not the first to coexist with cats. Meanwhile, researchers at England's Oxford University were coming to the same conclusion. There, a team of scientists studied genetic material from domestic cats around the world. They knew these cats would vary in size and appearance, but the cats did resemble each other in one important way. They had the same ancestors. This species comes from a single location, the Fertile Crescent, which includes modern-day Iraq. To historians, the evidence makes sense. It was here that, about 12,000 years ago, humans first began settling in permanent homes and villages. Previously, humans had wandered from place to place. As people began farming, they needed to stay in one place to tend their crops. Where do the cats come in? They followed the mice. After a harvest, farmers stored baskets of grain in barns and homes. Cats probably slunk around these stores unobserved, waiting to pounce on rodents who got into the food. Cats have proven their usefulness, so people worked to keep them around, setting out fish scraps or saucers of milk. People began selecting certain cats as pets, passing over wild or ferocious individuals and bringing calmer creatures into their homes. Here, the relationship brought joy and contentment to both animal and owner. Today, some people still keep cats for their usefulness. Farmers let them prowl around barns, keeping rodents away from cows and horses. But most people just enjoy cats' companionship. It's safe to say that as far as cats go, not much has changed in 12,000 years.